Welcome custom car fans, my name is Aurora and I'm here to bring you the Battleground report of Battlegrounds 22. We'll be taking a look at the top players in this casual competition, what they played and how they fared in the lead up to the finals. But first, we must address the fallen competitors. 27 players entered Battlegrounds 22, and the 23 who did not emerge in Top Cut were playing Vernasilf, Minion Hunter, Mech Knight Holofear, Dracaslayer, Raycor Shadol, DJ Girl, Springen's Punk, Voltron, Virtual World, Naturia Vernasilf, Runic Sprite, Punk, Magispectre, Childream, Kashtira, Cyberdragon, Armamento, Blackwing, Numeron Eldritch, Dragonlink, Megalith Utopia, and Bizarre. Before we get into the top 4, however, we must recognise those who only just lost out on the top cut. In 8th was Eureka Ace, playing Raycor Shadol. By combining the Shadol's emphasis on different attributes with the multi-attributal Raycors, Eureka made a potent fusion of several fusion decks, taking advantage of the strong Raycor extra deck bosses. In 7th was the Creator on Childream. This pendulum deck puts an emphasis on making all of its opponent's monsters dark, then using those monsters as material for its summons and having other additional effects to help take advantage of them. Neo Blackstar was in 6th, playing Suship. A strong Xyz-oriented deck, Suship is heavily capable of inflicting quick OTKs and controlling the board with its strong custom support, so it's no wonder that it made a deep run. Finally, in 5th was Full, playing a Megalith Utopia, an effective deck at controlling the board with the resource loop of the Megaliths, and then OTKing out of nowhere with a Utopia double. The finisher in 4th place was Dome, playing Dogmatica and Amathos Invoked. I mean, seriously, what else am I supposed to say about this deck? It's been in so many top cuts. This list plays 3 Acrimonia, which I highly endorse, and a Tenki, which I don't so much. However, it is also Dome's first Animathos list to include Nadir Servant, newly unbanned, and Garura, newly released. Round 1 was a victory by default against Kashtira, and then moved on to beat Virtual World in Round 2. Round 3 was a victory over Vernasilf, whereas Round 4 was a loss against the tournament's winner. Round 5 had to be won to keep Dome in running for the finals, and as such he defeated Suship to move into Top Cut. He lost twice, however, and fell into the all too familiar 4th. I'm sure that he will win a quote-unquote real Battleground soon. The 3rd place finisher was Sok, playing Learned Wings. A relatively new deck, Learned Wings are all about normal pendulum monsters, like the original waves of Metal Foe support. This allows them to take advantage of the many boons a deck like that has access to, such as Painful Decision and Summoner's Art, an ease of access to materials and thus a fast lane to an OTK through pendulum summoning. Despite a round 1 loss to Suship, he picked back up on the subsequent rounds, winning consecutive matches against Punk Springens, Magispectre, Pure Punk and Childream to make it into finals. Despite losing the first match in a top cut, however, Sok beat Dome's tried and tested Animathos to land in 3rd place, a fine place for a first roost. In 2nd place was Diego, playing Finflame. This 5-fish synchro deck focuses on summoning a large quantity of monsters in a turn, using inherited effects to combo. In particular, the deck makes repeated use of Finflame Mantle Skipper to revive materials, allowing for a pilot to synchro climb into some truly terrifying denizens of the deep. First picking up a win against Childream, Diego defeated Raycor Shadol in round 2 and Punk in round 3. Round 4 saw a victory over the Raw Fish Suships, though round 5 was a defeat at the hands of the tournament's winner. With so many high-placing duelists having fallen to his deck, Diego was a favourite to win the whole thing. After he defeated Sok in the semi-finals, however, he suffered another loss, bringing him to 2nd place. Placing 1st place was Nightmare, playing Branded. Specifically, Bestial Branded. And even more specifically, 50-card Bestial Branded. Despite the loss of Branded Fusion, this deck looks very similar to TCG lists, and it naturally relies on many of the same disruption pieces in Guardian Chimera, Mirajade the Iceblade Dragon, Tri-Brigade Mercuria, and Predaplant Dragostapelia. This deck went undefeated the entire tournament. In order, Knight defeated Voltron, Dracaslayer, Bizarre, Animathos, Finflame, Dome's Animathos again for the semis, and then Diego's Finflame again for the finals, in a match that we shall look at now. This is the finals match between Nightmare88 and Diego Bender. Nightmare is on Bestial Branded and Diego is on Finflame. Both decks are genuinely really interesting. I'm a big sucker for synchro combo decks, so Finflame does have my heart. And Branded's just cool, you know? Okay, so these opening hands are for Knight here, who is going first. This is probably the dream, right? You've opened Aluba, you've opened Tragedy, you've opened Albaz, and then you've also opened Branded Connection, which is our Branded Fusion. Diego, on the other hand, has opened no hand traps, which is lovely. And I love this emoji. See, now... So I'll let you in on the story. You see, Sok, our wonderful resident coder and programmer and very smart person, has given me a script to fix this button and let me click the next play button. But that would require me installing software on my computer. And I'm very lazy. So we're just going to click the fast forward button and watch a branded combo. So it's normal summon Aluba, but we're going to search for Lost since we already have the connection. Then we're going to go Branded Connection, sending Albaz from deck and the Tragedy from hand, a really good open, to summon a Lubellion, the Searing Dragon. Then we're going to trigger the Tragedy and chain block it with the Lost in order to add a Fawn of Albaz or a monster that mentions it from deck to hand. This monster, and we're also then gonna chain block that with the Lubellion, discarding the other Albaz and hand shuffling itself and the Albaz in order to summon a Mirror Jade the Iceblade Dragon. We're gonna search for Tri-Brigade Mercuria, and then we're gonna search for Adlibisham of Despia. Then we're going to use the effect of the Mirror Jade the Iceblade Dragon, allowing us to send the Albion the Branded Dragon in order to banish the Aluba. Then we're going to set a Branded in red for the Albion in the M phase. And that's going to be the end of the turn. So we've ended on a deceptively very strong board here. We've got Mirror Jade the Iceblade Dragon, which is essentially a Trident. Except it's not, because it's had to use this effect now just so we can get this Albion into the grave. But we do have Branded in red as well as an Adlibisham of Despia in order to essentially secure ourselves a Guardian Chimera with very good materials going into it. We also have a Tri-Brigade Mercuria that we can use in order to negate a monster effect on this turn. So first of all is going to be a normal summon of Finflame Mantle Skipper. This allows us to special summon a fire fish monster from the hand or graveyard on summon, but we're going to Tri-Brigade Mercuria that, which is going to get met by a Called by the Grave in order to ensure that this Mantle Skipper can go through. So now we're going to special summon the Finflame Seerquel from the hand, which is going to use this effect to search for another Finflame from the deck. Knight is now going to chain Branded in red, targeting Tragedy. This is very strong here, as we're going to be able to summon back the Tragedy, fuse it with the Adlibisham and the Mirror Jade in order to summon a Guardian Chimera, which will then allow the we're then going to allow the Seerquel to resolve, searching for the Finflame Magma Lake, and then we're going to trigger the effect of the Guardian Chimera. Oh yes, okay, so we're going to okay, so chain links here. Chainlink 1 Tragedy, Chainlink 2 Adlibisham at Despia, and then Chainlink 3 is going to be Guardian Chimera, which is a quite interesting chainlink. Perhaps maybe Adlibisham would have been better to have as the Chainlink 3 so that it could chainlink or chain block the Chimera. Although I suppose if you're worried about something like Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion, then that's not something you need to worry about. So both of these are going to get... Oh, Chainlink 4 Lost as well. Of course, you fusion summoned a fusion monster. Now we're going to be searching from the deck. I'm assuming that this is just one pop, right? I don't know how this works. Yes, you draw 2 from hand, and so we're going to be drawing 2 for Chimera, and then popping 1. We're going to pop the Mantle Skipper, since this is our tuner on field. Then we're going to draw 2, Branded in red and Despia Theatre of the Branded, both really good targets. We're going to special summon back this Mirror Jade the Iceblade Dragon off of the Adlibisham, and then we're going to add from the deck to hand the Aluba, the Jester of Despia. And now, over the course of 2 turns, we have gone +3. What a deck this is. Diego, however, is not quite done yet. He's going to activate Finflame Magma Lake and use its effect in order to search from the deck a Finflame Bottom Scorcher. This is just a free summon from the hand. And now we're going to special summon this Bottom Scorcher since it is a, let me just trigger all the judges, inherent summon. Then he's going to activate White Mirror in order to target a level 4 or lower fish in the graveyard in order to special summon it and add from the deck to the hand a monster with the same original name. So we're going to summon back this Mantle Skipper and add a Mantle Skipper from the deck to the hand. Now, it's not this effect of Mantle Skipper that's non-once per turn, but it's the other one instead. Chaining to this is going to be Mirror Jade, the Iceblade Dragon, sending the Albion from the extra deck to the grave in order to banish the Mantle Skipper, which is definitely the correct play. Cutting off Diego's access to tuner monsters here is absolutely brutal. And as we can see, it is going to cause Diego to concede the duel. Okay, so game 2, Diego is going to be going first, and let's take a look at these hands. Oh. Oh, Diego. Oh, that's such a brick. That's such a brick. That's so unfortunate. Yeah. Set Bottom Scorcher pass, and Knight has drawn, you know, pretty well. This is, it's funky, but I think it does just about get there. So we're going to normal summon Blazing Cartesia the Virtuous, a very new card, and we're going to trigger its effect in order to fuse it with 2 other cards. We're hard summoning Chimera here. That's amazing. So we're going to fuse this Blazing Cartesia with an Edgimp Chain and a Gamma Seal the Sea Turtle Kaiju. Summon Guardian Chimera. We're then going to use the effect of the Edgimp Chain 1, Guardian Chimera Chainlink 2. Which is going to get ashed, unfortunately. We are still, however, going to search for the Frightfur Patchwork. Then going to activate Patchwork in order to search for an Edgimp Chain and a Polymerization to add from our deck to our hand. Very funny tech to add into this deck, but... Oh, Diego. Okay, fine. Let's just watch combos. Polymerization. Here we go. Activate Branded Connection, sending the Chain and the Albaz, summon a Lubellion, discarding the Branded and High Spirit, shuffling it back in order to summon the Ice Blade. Banishing the face down and sending the Albion to the graveyard in order to summon the Mirror Jade, or use the Mirror Jade's effect, and then we're going to trigger the effect of the Cartesia's effect in the end phase in order to add it back to the hand. Trigger the effect of the Branded and High Spirit, since the fusion was sent to the graveyard this turn, we can add it from our graveyard to our hand, and then trigger the effect of the Albion in the graveyard in order to set from the deck a... Oh, this time it's going to be Branded Banishment, but it doesn't matter. Oh, Diego, that's such a bad top deck as well. Oh, Diego just completely bricked in this last game. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see any of the Bestial cards, but in fairness, I don't think it really would have mattered, especially not in this game 3. Or game 2, sorry. Congratulations to the 4 Top Cut duelists, and congratulations further to everybody who participated. These tournaments aren't possible without you, so it's wonderful to see so many people taking part. If you want to be a part of the next EXU Battleground, make sure you check out the Discord link in the description. As always, be sure to like the video if you enjoyed, and tell us what you thought down in the comments. Subscribe if you want to see more custom card content, and click the bell icon if you want to be notified every time we upload. That's all from me for this Battleground report. Report closed.